We'll wait. I don't know what would happen should I press the buttons. Perhaps I should seek counsel first. I pocketed the watch again and plotted a course of the bridge, where I knew I would find reliable guidance on the matter. I found the captain and Shizuka busying themselves with the panels and monitors at the helm of the bridge.
Are we on course?
Yes, Captain. Our trajectory is nearing the closest point to the black hole and will be in its gravitational influence for T-minus 6.5 hours.
Numbers are a little different?
Should there be any problems?
Our navigational equipment confirms that our path is clear, and there are no nearby debris fields to worry about.
Perfect. Lock the course in and keep me updated if anything changes.
I decided that now was the best time to interject. Good morning, Captain. Shizuka?
Greetings.
Shizuka did not look happy to see me.
If he's up, why couldn't he be doing this? I could still be asleep, you know.
Shizuka, you are the only qualified navigator. It makes sense that you would, navigate.
Why is it that only this timeline makes sense? Shizuka heaved a great sigh as she returned to the monitor in front of her.
How can I help you?
It was slightly off-putting that the captain could mask so effortlessly what had transpired between us. I actually came to seek your counsel.
And I am actually pretty busy at the moment. How important is this?
I would say of vital importance. I could see the captain feel the impact of my purposely weighted words. She dismissed Shizuka so that we could have some space to talk.
What is it? What's wrong?
The pocket watch. I think it's working. I pulled the watch from my pocket and showed it to Kimiko. She examined the watch, not a glimmer of emotion showing on those stony features. She could be impenetrable sometimes.
I see.
She handed the watch back to me.
And why do you need my counsel?
Well, what would you do?
If I were in your position, what would I do?
That's what I asked. Kimiko closed her eyes, thinking deeply.
If I had any method that had a chance to save my crew, I would take my chances.
Really? Even without knowing every possible outcome?
If I continued to keep trying what hadn't been working up until now, everyone would die. As the saying goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results.
Well said.
Just take your time to think this through, and then make a decision. Remember that dire situations sometimes call for drastic action.
Thank you, Kimi. You've been a really big help. I thanked Kimiko one last time before leaving the bridge. Back in my quarters, I sat resolutely at the end of my bed, holding the pocket watch at eye level, trying to look inside it for the answers I sought. Minutes dragged out into hours.
Yoo-hoo!
Go away, I'm busy.
You there? Hello?
I shook my head, breaking out of my trance-like state, finding Dai standing before me.
Celebration time! He's alive after all.
Dai, what do you want?
Well, if you were listening to my announcement over the PA, which you clearly weren't, you would know that I'm here to inform you if you've made the cut for the vampire team.
Duly noted, now go away. Oh, no, I didn't hear that, sorry.
Is your PA system broken or something?
I shrugged.
Hang on a second, let me just check.
Dai shouted over the top of the sound.
No, it definitely works! It seems that you are either incredibly rude or you're trying to avoid me.
I could be both. The noise cut out, leaving my ears ringing. I'm sorry, Dai. It wasn't my intention at all.
You're lucky I'm in a good mood today. I forgive you.
Thanks, Dai. So why are you in a good mood?
I'm glad you asked. I'm just so happy that I have the greatest job in the universe. I couldn't be more excited for today's game. I think this has to be my magnum opus.
Loving your work does make things easier.
That it does. Now the reason I'm here. Drum roll. You are not the father.
Say it isn't so. What? Whose father?
Sorry. I've been watching some vintage reality TV in my spare time.
Wasn't aware reality TV would ever be vintage. You have enough spare time to watch TV? Shouldn't you be planning new and gruesome ways to kill us all?
I'm not going to dignify that with an answer.
Lazy.
I think you glossed over the important part. You aren't the vampire.
No, the important part is you have too much time on your hands. Okay, that's good, I guess.
Is it? Myself, I would much rather be the vampire.
Just so you can kill people?
Oh, you know me so well.
I sighed with relief. I dodged a bullet there. There was no way that being the vampire was a good thing in this game. Dai yawned audibly, clearly trying to tell me that she was bored with me now.
Well, this was pleasant. Be seeing you.
Dai vanished as her hand was halfway to her mouth, stifling yet another yawn. Moments later, I heard it heard through the ship's PA system.
Everyone has now been allocated their role. The first round will begin at 9 a.m. sharp. You have just under 2 hours to mingle and scheme. Eee, this is so exciting!
Guess no one's cutting me a break. First the pocket watch and now the deletion game. The deletion game was certainly a more pressing matter and it required my immediate focus. I placed the pocket watch back on the bedside table and put it out of my mind for the time being. So, to win I need to make the most human babies. I didn't want to win if Kimi didn't have an equally good chance too. We both needed to survive this game together. At the very least, she needs to have not created the fewest babies. I decided that I should discuss a few plans of attack with Kimiko, but it seems that she had similar ideas as I ran into her down the hallway from my room.
I was just coming to speak with you.
Great minds think alike, it seems. She blushed at the concept that I was also seeking her out.
Turn around. We need to speak in private.
I inclined my head and I led the way back. Settling down on the couch, Kimiko lost no time getting straight to the issue at hand.
I have been named the vampire.
My heart plummeted. This was not good news. To be the vampire meant 1 versus 6. They were not odds I felt confident about.
And I want you to be my Clyde.
Kimi. Her usual rock-solid composure was starting to fray around the edges.
If we are on opposite teams, the chances are that one of us will die. I don't ever want to be without you again. I have always had a purpose in one way or another, but now, my life has meaning.
Kimi.
So, will you partner with me?
Of course. You and me against the world.
Is that a yes?
I would rather die by your side than live in a world that doesn't have you in it. Kimiko leaped into my arms, tears flying.
We will win! When we work together, I know we can.
Even if we don't, my last moments will be with you. That's all I care about. Kimiko's eyes locked with mine. I knew that I had made the right decision when I saw a fierce fire lit within them.
Thank you. I do not know how I can ever repay you.
She hugged me tightly and I clung onto her like my life depended on it. Pulling out of the hug, she swiftly reverted back to the role of the staunch, unwavering captain.
I must return to the bridge. We do not want to garner suspicion.
We certainly won't want anyone to know that we were lovers.
I meant in regards to the deletion game, but I guess that too.
Kimiko gave me a heart-melting smile before she returned to her duties. The game was beginning in the next hour or so, and I really need to get in the right headspace. I decided to have a cold shower to shock me awake so I could focus on how to keep myself and Kimiko alive. Upon arrival, I saw a light reflecting off the bathroom tiles. I turned around and that very strange sight greeted me. Dai?
Oh, hey!
What exactly are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
Washing your hair?
So why ask? You can clearly see what I'm doing.
I guess, but you know, you don't really need to.
How do you think my hair has such a glossy shine? A girl needs to take care of herself.
I don't really care for the other option, so why not? Would you like me to wash your hair for you?
Keep your hands to yourself, pervert.
I don't really have a choice in the matter. I ran my hand through her hair. The hologram flickered slightly as I did.
I like you so much.
Enough to not kill me?
Nice try. Let me finish my hair. I'll be with you in just a moment.
I turned away for a few seconds.
Ta-da! How do I look?
As ravishing as usual. Dai bobbed up and down in pure pleasure at my response.
Now, the reason I'm here.
Isn't it to wash your hair?
That was a happy side effect. Now, a little birdie tells me that you and the captain are vampires.
Well, you do run the game, so that makes sense.
Well, I want you to win.
What? Why?
Let's just say that I like you, so I want you to win.
If you don't want to kill me, why not just call off the game entirely?
It's not quite that simple.
How is it?
I said, it's not that simple.
Dai shook off her sudden burst of anger, regaining her composure.
In round 2, I suggest that you breed with Melody.
Why would I do that?
She'd be by far the easiest to convince.
She's only a child.
And, as it currently stands, also the most unnecessary crew member.
Thank you. Someone finally agrees with me. Ironically, it's the bot. Dai, I can't do that.
You must win!
Look, of course I want to win, but I'm not going to sentence Melody to death in order to do so.
Fine. Enjoy the afterlife.
Dai threw up her hands in exasperation, vanishing on the spot. I remembered the reason I had come to the baths in the first place. I knew that the frigid embrace of the cold shower wasn't the real reason I was shuddering. It was the thought of sacrificing Melody that made me really shiver. As I finished up, Dai's voice came over the ship's PA.
Good morning, my Randy crew. The time has come for you to spread your seed, share the fruit of your loins, sow your fertile oats. Well, you get the picture. If everyone could please report to the hallway outside the dining hall and form an orderly queue, it's time to get down and dirty.
Down and dirty? I had just finished my shower too. I sighed as I pulled on my clothes and trudged to the dining hall as instructed. I was among the last to arrive.
It's about time. Not that eager to become a father?
Yeah, let's just get this over with, Dai.
Wow, the attitude. I feel sorry for your future children.
Yes, Dai, we get it. He would make a terrible father and husband. Can we get down to business?
Thanks for the support, Kimiko.
Meow, Captain. You're the boss. Ahem. Welcome, welcome. Today's the day you all become proud parents, or the undead. Each round takes half an hour. Within that period, you and a single unique partner may enter the dining hall to breed. Once you have bred, please leave the hall so others may use the space. When the round comes to an end, I will announce the birth tally and round 2 will begin. After 3 rounds, the game will come to an end, along with someone's life. I just can't explain how much I love this game. I don't know if it's the death or the breeding, but this game makes me so excited. I'll be waiting inside the dining hall to join you together in your partnerships. Round 1 starts now. Toodles!
Man, they revised the script a lot right there, man. She's way off. Dai leapt through the wall of the dining hall. I looked around me and saw that the crew had already broken off into factions. Beatrix and Nicholas were together, of course, as was Shizuka and Kanashi. Melody stood with them. I sighed in relief. She would be safe with them. Nicholas and Beatrix entered the dining hall just as the captain approached me.
Hello. Would you like to breed?
I thought you'd never ask. I looked around and saw the others watching over their shoulders at us, trying to catch a snippet of the conversation. Are you the vampire?
No, I am not. Are you?
How would I tell if I was? I shook my head, perhaps a tad too vigorously, still trying to convince the others that this wasn't pre-rehearsed.
Then, shall we?
I nodded. After Beatrix and Nicholas were done inside, Kimiko and I replaced them. So that means Melody's not doing anything here.
Ah, if it isn't the lovebirds we've all been waiting for.
Dai, I'd like to become a vampire. I will be Kimiko's partner in crime.
Captain, do you agree with this? You want me to make him a vampire?
The captain paused for a second, then nodded in agreement, resolution strong on her face.
So romantic. Alrighty, please place your hands on the terminal so I can get you two hitched.
Together we placed our hands on the terminals.
Congratulations! I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Vampire. You may now suck the crew.
I prefer this one. Not just because of the whole phrasing business, but it's about time. I laughed dryly without any real mirth. Thanks, Dai.
Good luck, you two. I'm so proud seeing my babies all grown up.
We left the dining hall with relief. Dai always managed to make situations as awkward as possible. Kanashi and Melody passed us on the way inside. We found a position by the wall to wait until the end of the round, and Shizuka immediately approached us.
Hey, Captain?
Hey,
Are either of you the vampire?
who? Me? No.
Captain?
No, I'm not. Shizuka nodded, seemingly content with our response. She drifted off, looking like she was now scoping out another pair to interrogate. Melody burst out of the dining hall entrance with a very exhausted-looking Kadashi dragged along by her hand.
I made a baby.
That's right. We both did.
I want to call mine Sprinkles.
Sprinkles isn't a real name, Melody.
It is if she's signing the kid up to be a stripper, just saying.
Why not? Why is Melody okay but not Sprinkles?
Kadashi sighed, knowing it was impossible to argue with someone of her age.
Sprinkles is a beautiful name, dear.
Moments later, the first round came to a close.
Thank you all for participating in Vampire Children. Here are the results of round 1. Ta-da!
The results were pretty much what I expected them to be. 4 human babies were created and 1 vampire child was created. Total humans 4, vampires 1.
Round 2 starts now!
Dai disappeared as I worked out our next plan of attack.
Sprinkles is one of them, right?
Yes, Melody. I will look after Sprinkles for you until the game is finished.
Oh, okay.
Now that round 2 had begun, I needed to make sure to breed in order to keep both Kimiko and me alive. The others were also milling around, contemplating who to breed with. Shizuka took Melody by the hand, leading her into the dining hall. From the looks of the room, I had 3 options. Let's go for Kadashi. I approached Kadashi, who happened to be staying alone. Hey, Kadashi.
Hey, newbie.
So, if I asked hypothetically if you were a vampire, how would you hypothetically respond?
I would hypothetically say no. And if you received the same question?
I would theoretically say no. I, too, would say no, hypothetically speaking. Kadashi laughed. We always seem to be on the same page, Kadashi and I. Shall we breed then?
I thought you'd never ask.
We both chuckled entering the dining hall as soon as we saw Melody and Shizuka leave.
And Katashi sitting in the tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Very mature, Dai.
What, am I not allowed to have fun while I toy with your lives?
It might be in the fine print, I don't know. Dai, we'd like to breed, thanks.
And so you shall. Please place your hands down on the terminal so we can move straight to 4th base.
Kadashi rolled his eyes as Dai winked like crazy, trying to get Kadashi's attention.
Wow, that was hot, guys. The internet will love this sexy little film that I just took of you two.
Yeah.
They still have the internet? Wouldn't that be obsolete by then? Minutes after we had left, Kimiko and Beatrix also emerged, followed by Dai.
Thank you again for another thrilling round. I will now display the results after round 2.
The results were displayed, and again, as expected. 2 human babies created, 2 vampire children created. Totals human 6, vampires 3.
Which starts now.
Alright, one more round, the game is ours.
This game is starting to heat up. It's gonna be a great final round. I'm glad you finally arrived.
So what she meant to say was, which, by the way, starts now. Dai dashed back to the dining hall. Before I could even consider my next move, Shizuka addressed the whole group.
Can I please have everyone's attention?
We all turned to face Shizuka as she spoke.
I know who the vampire is.
What? How did she know?
He and the captain are both vampires.
Excuse me?
I'm really sorry about this, Captain. I know it's you and him.
So keep in mind, if you ever want to do an ambiguous gender character, you can always just say, I know it's you two, instead of you and him. That way you cover your bases. There's a lot of ways around it, and I think the dev was just way too rushed to actually make everything neutral and sound natural. What? We're not the vampires.
Yes, you are.
Prove it.
Okay.
So here's the mathematical thing. I racked my brain trying to imagine what her proof would be.
In the first round, 1 vampire child was created. That means that either Katashi and Melody, Beatrix and Nicholas, or you and the captain are the vampire pair. In round 2, 2 more vampire children were created.
So?
I know for a fact that Katashi and Melody are not vampires.
How do you know that?
I trust them.
That's not proof.
No, it's not, but it's about to be.
What could you possibly mean?
I didn't breed in the first round. That means I have the fewest human babies to my name.
It also means she's a verified human, as is, I think, Nicholas. Whoever did not go with Kimiko is also a verified human. So?
And I won't breed this round again, proving that you and the captain are the vampires, and that Katashi and Melody are human.
Shizuka addressed the crew en masse once more.
If you aren't the vampire, I am asking you to not breed this round, knowing that I will die if I'm wrong.
Putting your own life on the line to prove a point? I can respect that, Shizuka.
Very well. Neither my sister nor I will breed this round.
Kanoshi nodded, clearly agreeing with this plan too.
2 children is already too much for me to handle.
Is the other one named Sparkles or something? We're going with stripper names, right? Shizuka turned to the now despondent captain and me.
Sorry, guys. You lose.
And hopefully you guys know how this is going to play out much differently than Shizuka thinks. The captain and I stood in stunned silence as our world crashed down around us. Dai poked her head around the door.
Really? No one's breeding? I know parenting is hard, but really?
No, Dai. We just know who the vampire is already.
Damn it, Shizuka. Stop ruining my games with your nerdy gamer logic.
Sorry, Dai. It's my only strength, so I'm going to use it.
Dai appealed to the rest of the crew.
So no one wants to breed?
No one stepped forward. Dai sighed with disappointment.
I guess that brings this game to its conclusion. Thank you for playing Vampire Children. Still my favorite game to date, despite stupid Shizuka ruining the ending. And as you know, here is the final score.
0 human babies created, 0 vampire children. Totals human 6, vampires 3.
The vampire has lost.
Wait, vampire? Singular? Surely she meant vampires.
Congratulations! You've lost this round of the game, which means you've won an early exit from this ship.
What?
Sorry, Captain, but they were the vampire.
And there they go with the whole day thing.
I know he was. I made him one!
Dai ignored the captain.
If you would, please do me the honor of spinning the wheel of fatalities.
Absolutely not!
Having a rough time there, Captain? First Yoshiki and now them.
I was the vampire!
I was unsure of exactly what was happening. Kimiko was right, she was the vampire. I had just partnered with her.
Dai, I'm gonna have to agree with the captain on this one. I'm sure she is the main vampire, and he is Clyde.
Oh, and how do you figure that?
I asked her if she was the vampire, and she has a really obvious tell.
That's not proof at all, you know, Shizuka.
Kimiko lost her cool entirely. She was angrier than I even thought possible.
Why are you not following your own rules?
Are you accusing me of cheating?
Yes, I am. You're cheating! I should have lost! I did lose! Count me!
What's going on here?
I'm sorry, but you won't be dying today.
I lost the game! They are your rules!
The rules state that I have to kill the vampire if they lose. I intend to do just that.
I am the vampire!
Well, you certainly were at the end of the game. But I say that they're the ones who'll die.
You! I will end you if it is the last thing I do!
Dai laughed in the face of the captain's threat.
All the crew is to proceed in a calm and orderly fashion to the shuttle bay.
What?
This is more than enough drama for one day. Forget the will. Let's just get this over with.
First she was caught lying, and now she was rushing the execution. The crew moved as if in a dream towards the shuttle bay, but Kimiko stood firm, blocking the exit before I could leave. Kimiko.
I will not let you die alone. I will die with you.
Her anger turned to desperation.
Die, please. Please! Just let me die with him!
No, absolutely not.
But I lost!
Yes, you did.
Then let me die in his place!
Okay, let me make you a deal.
Anything!
Give me a moment alone with him. After that, I'll throw you both out the airlock. How does that sound?
Dai was talking to her in a calm but condescending way, like a parent trying to reason with a child throwing a tantrum. I barely reacted to all of this. It all seemed so surreal since receiving the news that I would be dying soon. Kimiko nodded, tears streaming down her face. She seemed satisfied to hear that she too would die. Kimiko stood in the hallway waiting for Dai to fulfill the last part of their newly forged deal. Dai spoke to me when she was sure the captain was far enough away that she wouldn't overhear her.
I told you to use melody.
I couldn't.
Yeah, well, you've made my life way more difficult than it needs to be. Kimiko cannot lose. She cannot die.
Why do you say that? Dining hall now on lockdown. Kimiko beat furiously on the other side of the door, screaming at the top of her lungs.
Die! You promised! Hold on, I'm coming!
The pummeling on the door intensified in frequency and volume, but I knew she was never going to reach me in time.
Sorry, I liked you, but the captain is my #1 priority.
Oxygen levels in the dining hall reaching critical level. I gasped, no longer able to fill my lungs in a single breath. I became lightheaded, the room shifting and tilting around me like I was in a house of mirrors. Kimiko's passionate banging started to fade. I fought to keep my eyes open, but they were so heavy.
Tisk, tisk. I expected so much more from you.
Die like a man. You have died. So, timeline-wise, what else do we have here? We still have the jump thing. But we're missing a piece here that prevents us from progressing. You may have noticed we actually did not run into Die or I in the server room this time around, which tells you something is up. What could that be? What could that be?